Hello and welcome back to Management Snippets. This time over, we are continuing on what we discussed in the last episode, wherein we discussed about motivations, how to motivate employees, and the various methods that. And the main punchline was that there is no one fit for all motivational strategy. Because you have to have a separate motivation strategy depending on the individual. So there were a lot many queries which came because I had mentioned about Maslow's hierarchy in that last episode, and a lot many people had inquired about this Maslow's hierarchy and then wanted to hear more about it. So I thought this time over I'll share it on the screen and then we'll just discuss about that as well, so that it gives a bit more clarity about what I told last week. I hope you're able to see my screen. Uh, yeah, so what you see on the screen is Maslow's hierarchy. This was created by Abraham Maslow in the 70s. About see the if you see it as a pyramid, you can see you look at the bottom of the pyramid. These are the basic fundamental needs of a human being, the physiological needs. Okay, so as cavemen, we were all wanting to satisfy these needs, physiological needs, when we do not have a house or as a society, we are not evolved as a society. We were all cavemen living in the forest at the mercy of the lions and tigers in the forest. And physiological needs like air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction, these are all the physiological needs, which are the basic fundamental needs of a human being. If you consider human being as an animal, basically these are the needs that we need. Right. So the first need of a human being is this. And then later on, when a human being gets all these needs, if you see the evolution of the society also, the next priority becomes the safety needs, being the personal security. Because when we are part of a society, then we feel that we need a security man at the gate for our apartment, or we need a better police force, we need a better army and navy to protect our nation. So these are all personal security needs, and we need the employment to make financial security, the resources which like the bank deposits, or you need a pension to make sure that as an individual you are safe in your life. The health safety, we need better facilities by the government to give you better hospitals, and the property which will keep you in good stead in case of you losing a job or something. So once these needs are satisfied, physiological and safety needs, then the next is the love and belonging, that is the friendship, intimacy, family. These are all societal needs. These are called social needs, physiological needs, safety needs. Then you have the social needs. These are the social needs wherein you need friendship, you need a networking, you need intimacy, you need you know somebody to talk to, family, a sense of connection. These are all social needs which a human being has, which is coming next in the hierarchy. And then once this is also satisfied, what the person is looking for next is a self-esteem. That is, he needs, the status in the society. He needs respect. He needs recognition. This is what an individual needs. Because, for example, if you are, as per the second or third step in the hierarchy, if somebody needs a basic car, say you go for a basic car, and then once you grow up uh, in the hierarchy, then you need a car to exhibit your status. It is a car is needed to take you from one place to another. It needs four wheels, but that is not enough. When you need a status, you need to buy a high end car which will give you the status in the society, a standing that yes, I am one of those, one among that club wherein only a few can own such kind of a car. An example of esteem is called the self-esteem or esteem needs of a human being. And then all which is done, because normally a human being needs ends at this level wherein he yearns for esteem, and then if that is satisfied, he is satisfied as a human being. then we are not only animals, or an animal with an intellect. uh, what differentiates an animal and a human being is the intellect. So we are not just animals with an intellect. We are something more. So that is when the last hierarchy in the Maslow's hierarchy comes into importance, wherein it's called a self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. So this self-actualization can be seen from a spiritual angle. People who are, having everything, they turn to spirituality maybe towards the end of life, or rather when you grow old. In Indian concept, there is something called vanaprastha, wherein when somebody grows old, the kings and all used to leave away their kingdom to the next generation, and then would get into the forest for the praying to God, and from there they either get self-actualization or they perish in that forest. So this self-actualization is something called this vanaprastha, which in Indian philosophy we used to call. So wherein a person is yearning for the questions that have been pondering in the mind of human beings from time immemorial. And that is, who am I? From where I have come? What is the purpose of this life? All these things comes into the mind, and these are all questions that people may ask themselves, and then they would like to get answers for. So people get into spirituality, they get into to social service, uh, they get into activities like uh, the yoga, all these things which will give you more satisfaction. So these are the five hierarchies of Maslow. And then coming back, stopping the sharing of this, brief you that coming back to the motivational needs. When you have employees under you, I'm sure, if you're in a good company and all, there may not be many employees who are in the, the first step of the hierarchy. The physiological needs, most of them must have, satisfied by then. Maybe they are into the second or third or even to the fourth step of the hierarchy. So, wherein the higher the hierarchy a person goes, the motivational needs changes, and then accordingly you need to design your motivational strategy. For example, if somebody is needing esteem, so how to satisfy his motivational need? Maybe you can send him for do MBA at a very reputed institute, where he can flaunt around and say that I am a product of this institute. Maybe you can send him to Harvard, and then so that he can come back and tell the people that, see, I'm a Harvard graduate. So this is self-esteem. Or maybe if he's senior enough, you can think of giving him a luxury car. So these are all status symbols wherein it satisfies his esteem needs. If somebody is below that and then is wanting for social needs, maybe you can involve him in some CSR, that is these social service activities for the company, because nowadays, as per the Indian norms, there are mandatory needs for the companies to get into social service. To CSR activities, you can put that person into, so that he will, he can meet more people. Or somebody is wanting to get into marketing, maybe you can put him in marketing so that he can go around in the market and try to meet people, so that his social needs, networking needs would get satisfied. So these are all examples. There is no end to it. You can find your own creativity and use your creativity to find new and novel ways to satisfy the motivational needs, or rather the needs as per the Maslow's hierarchy. So I believe I have explained this Maslow's hierarchy for whoever you know was wanting to explain this. So accordingly, you can tailor make your motivational strategies for the various companies. Thank you. Thank you so much.